On Mountain News this morning, a new youth program is coming to Laurel County to show kids that sheriff's deputies aren't scary. And a high school student is stepping up to help with food insecurity amid the SNAP uncertainty.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Friday, November 7th. It's 6:30 this morning and we're ready for a check of our weather with meteorologist Alexa Minton.
We have got a first alert weather day today because of a couple reasons, and it's going to last all the way through our Monday. Now, today we are starting off with, of course, an active rounds of storms coming in the second half of your forecast. It eventually is going to shift into snowflake chances by our Monday forecast. So those strong storms are rolling in the second half of our day. We stay calm for our Saturday, but by the time we're talking towards our Sunday night into Monday, we're looking at flake chances for our region, and it feels like the teens on Monday. So today, one thing we're noticing, those temperatures not too bad. Don't be fooled by the 70s you're going to see in the upper 60s. It feels good for the first half of the day when you step outside, but as those thunderstorms roll towards your skies, things are going to pack a punch. Again, second half of the day is when we're going to expect that activity. I'll walk you through your full forecast and tell you a little bit more about those incoming storms in just a few more moments.
In Harlan County, a man appeared virtually in court in a case where he was accused of shooting at officers. Stacey Huff pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of attempted murder of a peace officer. He was arrested in August after police responded to a home in the Close Plint community for a domestic issue. Police say Huff had been highly intoxicated and was holding some of his family at knife point. He's scheduled to appear in court again on December 5th. The 3 men charged in connection to the Amber Spradlin murder appeared before a judge in Pike County yesterday, discussing the proposed delay in the upcoming trial. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has the latest.
At what point in time is it fish or cut bait?
Attorney Steve Romines stood before Judge Eddie Coleman Thursday, asking the court to keep the current date for the Amber Spradlin murder trial in place. He says M.K. McKinney, who is accused of her murder, should soon see a seated jury or a lowered bond.
You know, they charged us a year ago, over 15 months ago, and said they had enough evidence to convict. Let's see if they have enough evidence to convict. That's the bottom line.
Commonwealth's attorney Brent Turner recently filed a motion asking the court to postpone the trial, which is currently set to begin December 1st, saying the state forensics lab has only completed testing on 70% of the massive amount of blood evidence from the scene of the crime.
And our position, Judge, is that it's not fair to the Commonwealth to put us in a position where we have the entire burden of proof at a trial, to be forced to go to trial and try to present a case, a complete case of all the evidence without all of the evidence.
Turner says the Commonwealth only has one shot at getting it right and getting justice for Amber.
You've got, you know, a young woman here that was brutally murdered, and she's dead in the ground and she ain't coming back. And we got a guy sitting over here that's looking at the possibility of life in prison. And the jury's going to be under a lot of pressure to try to get that right.
And though the Commonwealth says it would consider mediation in the case, which attorneys for co-defendants Josh Mullins and Dr. Michael McKinney expressed interest in.
We certainly do it in all similar cases. If we didn't do it in this one, it'd be one of the only ones we didn't do it.
MK's attorneys have other plans.
They charged my client with murder for something that, you know, somebody else did. Mediation's a waste of time. Again, let's try that. Let's let a jury decide.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The judge is expected to rule on the motion in the next few days. In Pike County, 2 people were arrested after police say they left the scene of a crash. It happened Wednesday when police responded to the Ratliffs Creek area about a crash involving an SUV and a truck. In the citation, it says a wheel came off the trailer that a truck had been pulling, which struck the SUV. Police later came across Jared Wayne Hicks, who was laying in a small ditch. Karen Nicole Hicks was arrested. The 2 were taken to the Pike County Detention Center. In Bell County, a man faces several charges after leading police on a chase. Police executed a traffic stop Wednesday in Middlesboro. They noticed a mini bike with 2 people on it going past the speed limit with no lights. Police say one of the people on the bike got off of it, but they kept chasing Gabriel Schooler. Police say he led them into oncoming traffic at one point. When police arrested Schooler, they say that he had a shank in one of his socks. In Whitley County, a man was arrested after he was accused of impersonating a peace officer. Wednesday, police were called to the Tattersball area of Corbin. They say a man stopped two minors who had been riding in a golf cart when he showed them a badge and claimed to be an assistant constable. Police say Stephen Smith threatened to issue the minors a ticket. Smith was taken to the Whitley County Detention Center. A new youth program is coming to Laurel County to show kids that sheriffs aren't that scary. The Behind the Badge program aims to strengthen the bond between youth and law enforcement beginning January 13th. The sheriff's office will host 25 children from ages 4 to 17 for informational and hand-on sessions. The program will take place on the second Tuesday of each month in 2026. Sheriff John Root and his fiancee Heather created the program to extend a helping hand to kids in the area.
We just want these kids to know that, you know, they're part of us. If they see us out somewhere, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to come up and ask us questions. A lot of kids, you know, just from the way that we do that, you'll see them out at Walmart or something, they're fist bumping, high-fiving, and we love it.
Root says he's hopeful the program will build positive relations through gaining trust, understanding, and open communication. Despite Eastern Kentucky's reoccurring natural disaster and economic challenges, data shows that our region's workforce system outperformed many metro areas throughout the United States. WYMT's McKinley Calandrino spoke to officials with EKSEP about this analysis.
Summit Works Solution, a research firm based out of Colorado, works to support workforce development agencies nationwide. Summit Works found that one local agency has achieved significant outcomes despite some of Eastern Kentucky's greatest challenges.
So what the leadership at EKSEP has done is really created the environment to enable success for all of the participants within this broader ecosystem, trying to help the residents of Eastern Kentucky. I cannot tell you that there are any other regions in the country that I know of that have committed that much to making sure that their folks are getting upskilled so they can continue to advance the cause of training their residents.
Officials say EKSEP's unique approach, strong culture, and effective strategies allow it to achieve the workforce development seen.
There are 585 boards across the country. I've personally, over the last 10 years, visited with about 108 of those. And there's very few, if any, that are providing that same kind of culture of learning.
Eastern Kentucky is beating some of America's largest cities when it comes to helping people find work. According to Summit Works research, EKSEP has helped more people this year per capita than programs in Miami, Dallas, and Seattle.
Because they don't have some of those same challenges. They don't have transportation challenges. They don't have economic challenges like we do. So I think it's pretty good testament to EKSEP and our partnerships with Community Action that we're able to turn in a performance like that.
Helping more than 12,000 Kentuckians find effective jobs on a nationwide scale. In Perry County, McKinley Calandrino, WYMT Mountain News.
To learn more about research studies done by Summit Works and EKSEP, you can visit our website, WYMT.com. A high school student is doing what she can to help during SNAP uncertainty in Eastern Kentucky. Kylie Jones is a junior at Knott County Central High School and has had a blessing box filled with food outside of the school for nearly 6 months. She says her goal is to help those in need around her and shine a light on food insecurity in Appalachia.
A lot of people don't have the money that everybody else comes from, so I want them to have food and I want them to have like hygiene items because they deserve that. Like everybody deserves to have like what they need.
Jones and her family refills the box with snacks, drinks, and some meals every day before school. She says they have an Amazon wish list and are always looking for help in restocking items. Well, cold temperatures are just around the corner, so it's a good time to make sure your home is heating up to date and working fine. Jameson Welker, who works with Bryant Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, says keeping your home's air filter up to date is critical. Folks also have to think about the habits they have when it comes to using heat. Turning the temperatures up and down when we leave and come back to our home is just not the best practice.
Much easier, much more economical and easier on a system if you just find a comfortable temperature, leave it at the temperature, set the thermostat to on, and just leave it and forget it.
Well, there are steps you can take to help with warming your home. Keeping doors closed from the outside and locking your windows can help in those efforts. Walker says you can even use plastic packaging from Amazon to help block any major cold drafts. West Virginia just submitted its application for the Federal Rural Health Transformation Program to transform health care for rural West Virginians. If approved, the transformation could provide $100 million per year for 5 years to rural health care in West Virginia through the Big Beautiful Bill. Governor Patrick Morrisey says the application focuses on recruiting, training, and retaining healthcare workers, plus promoting healthy living. Well, it's a big weekend for many hunters in our area. Modern gun season starts this weekend in Kentucky. This means hunters can use centerfire rifles and handguns with a maximum of 10 rounds. The period starts Saturday and runs through November 23rd. The Department of Fish and Wildlife says nearly 150,000 deer were harvested last year.
We have got a first alert weather day today because of a couple reasons, and it's going to last all the way through our Monday. Now, today we are starting off with, of course, an active rounds of storms coming in the second half of your forecast. It eventually is going to shift into snowflake chances by our Monday forecast. So those strong storms are rolling in the second half of our day. We stay calm for our Saturday, but by the time we're talking towards our Sunday night into Monday, we're looking at flake chances for our region, and it feels like the teens on Monday. So today, one thing we're noticing, those temperatures not too bad. Don't be fooled by the 70s you're going to see in the upper 60s. It feels good for the first half of the day when you step outside, but as those thunderstorms roll towards your skies, things are going to pack a punch. Again, second half of the day is when we're going to expect that activity. I'll walk you through your full forecast and tell you a little bit more about those incoming storms in just a few more moments.
Well, thanks for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:42. Coming up, how doctors have launched a nationwide movement to boost health and friendship outside the office.